It's 1:30 in the afternoon, Sunday, the 13th of July, my 5-year soberversary party here. Not really a party. I'm here alone right now, but I just had Dale stop in, bring me some pie and ice cream I'm going to be eating. And I had Tyler here jamming for the last 10 days, rehearsing, working on our new show we're going to be putting together.
I got that goddamn song stuck in my head again. It's stuck in my head again. It's stuck in my head again.
Over the next year, it'll take us a while to get really ready, but give us time. We'll be there. We're already sounding good on a number of things. I'm really stoked. So thanks for the good visits. I've had a number of people sending me messages and calls, and even thank you, Julie, for sending me a little tip. People have been really good to me, and I'm celebrating 5 years since I've begun the change in my life that I needed to make. And it was dramatic. It's recovery, but I'm not here to talk about recovery and the ups and downs and difficulties of all that, and the rewarding things that you too could have. Anyways, let's talk about the weather. So we got tornado watch in Alberta right now, down in Alberta, where I lived once upon a time and played many a show at the Nanton Auditorium Hotel, and of course at Pam's Coffee Shop and places like that. Love Nanton, Claire's Home, places like that are under that tornado watch. We'll talk about that this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm watch in southern British Columbia is ongoing. Nothing major developed so far there that I've seen. And raining hard in the Cariboo. We will see possibility of some lightning, Cariboo, Prince George, and whatnot, and north of as the day progresses. But still just raining, which I guess the rain could, provide a little bit of moisture that could be used to make some stronger, to make some storms. Maybe I could hope something other than just rain. Please, God, it's so boring. And I know it's warm in other places in BC. It's 15.5 degrees, it says up there on the friggin' thing. It's summer-like here in Wells right now. Oh, I can't take any more of it. Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Let's look at today's weather. Let's go.
I got that goddamn song stuck in my head again. It's stuck in my head again. It's stuck in my head again.
If you could hit like, share, subscribe, that'd be awesome. If you want to become a channel member or leave a donation down there, support the channel, leave a tip on the thanks button. I really appreciate that, and thank you to everyone who has given me some thanks this week. And trying to, I guess, celebrate my soberversary, but also be just people trying to support the channel as well. I appreciate that very much. I really do. Okay, let's get on with the show today. We will start with the thunderstorm outlook in the prairies today, where we don't have on our little legend here a tornado-looking funnel cloud or anything like that. But this has, the understanding has changed. There's a higher chance than maybe they thought. So there's been a tornado watch put there. And when you're talking 3 to 5 centimeter hail, 90 to 110 kilometer gusts, you could probably just put the tornado moniker on there anyways. That's always a threat when you have that intensity of thunderstorm, that one could drop a tornado of some kind, even if it's just a gust-nado or a land spout or something like that. Meanwhile, the rest of the prairies has a lesser threat, but there's been a severe thunderstorm up near Edson somewhere. I think we'll check the radar at the very end of my little broadcast here, just so we can be the most up-to-date when I print this off. Whitehorse area, non-severe, most likely thunderstorms, non-severe, most likely thunderstorms possible. Fort Nelson, Fort St. John in the F zone here. I believe this F zone, 60 kilometer gusts of wind, 10 to 20 mils of rain. I think in there we're talking about the chance of thunderstorms lingering into the evening, maybe even at 1 o'clock in the morning, seeing some lightning in that Prince George area or something like that. Still, too, 15 to 25 mils in some of those storms in the Prince George region. Our best threat for severe, though, is this B area, which largely I would say that's like the Shuswap largely. That covers, up to the Columbia Mountains, more or less. And that's where our severe thunderstorm watch is in BC today. And it looks like tomorrow we have more thunderstorms on tap. Of course, in the Yukon, looking at D and E, stronger thunderstorms possibly. But that threat for severe continues in southeastern British Columbia now, ranging down to Cranbrook, where we could see 70 to 90 kilometer an hour gusts of wind, 1 to 2 centimeter hail, they're thinking, and 15 to 25 mils of rain. It doesn't look like the Caribou and a lot of the areas north of seem to be at threat. The C area, still some strong thunderstorms in that C and B area. So it looks like a lot of southern British Columbia on Monday is going to start the work week with some bangers. So where is that tornado watch? It's right down here. So we're talking Clares, Home, Stavely, Nanton, Alberta. I hate when it just lights up the whole thing and then you can't actually read who's in the warning of the watch zone. Severe thunderstorms could develop in the foothills this afternoon and evening and will move southeast. They will be capable of producing a tornado in addition to damaging hail, heavy rain, and strong wind gusts. And that was 3 to 5 centimeter hail we saw in that graphic we last looked at. 3 to 5 centimeter hail, you're talking like, golf balls and bigger you're probably getting into there, right? So severe watch isn't for all the areas around, but I think, we'll just want to hammer on that once again. If you got friends who are in this section of Alberta, Fort Macleod, right? Clares, Home, Stavely, Nanton, High River, all these kind of areas, and then maybe areas just to the very west of Calgary, Bragg Creek, maybe not quite that far out. But you're looking at that risk, right? So severe thunderstorm watch there. Heat continues still out towards Brooks and Medicine Hat. Heat watch there. Heat warning, I should say, severe thunderstorm watch in British Columbia in this area we more or less just talked about, which would be Lake Revelstoke, Anglemont, Salmon Arm, Pritchard, Kamloops, McClure, Little Fort, 70 Mile, Lone Butte, up the North Thompson, into the Columbias, and maybe even Spence's Bridge, Ashcroft, Clinton being in that watch zone. Anyways, the rest of these statements are for smoke. Lots of smoke kicking off in Saskatchewan. It is burning there. I need to spend more time talking about it. And then we got heat warnings and severe thunderstorm watches in southern Ontario right now. That's going on. A couple severe storms likely to be happening in that corridor, and the heat is still pretty bad even in Nova Scotia there. Heat warning there, where until Thursday they could be seeing 33 degrees Celsius with a humidex much, much higher for Digby, Annapolis, and places like that. Even Newfoundland, what do you got up there? Heat warning for Newfoundland. Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's about an hour and a half from now. Here's what we're looking at. Of course, by the time this video comes out, it'll be much sooner. That thunderstorm outbreak should be beginning to pop up around then along the foothills in southern British Columbia. This energy is going to move across into Alberta in the next little while, and that's going to be our trigger zone there. And if we hit the thunderstorm icon up further, we'll watch a little bit of development happen in the Caribou, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Some non-severe thunderstorms in Fort St. John and whatnot. And then there is a risk that we could see some lightning taking into the night here. It doesn't show up on this thunderstorm moniker. However, when we look back through this in a second, you'll see it's there. We're going to go to the morning time, Monday morning. When do we see that storm break out? So maybe by 12 noon, we're going to already see in that southeast corner of BC where the risk of severe thunderstorm is there. Looks like we mostly get a pass in this region to the north. That Revelstoke on down towards Cranbrook. If you could draw kind of a line there, you're going to watch something across that line develop and then start to move itself more or less south as it does. And we'll see some risk of strong thunderstorms still in Alberta throughout Monday into the afternoon. We'll come back, I think, and talk about Wednesday. I think in the next forecast, that's a whole nother story Wednesday. Okay, let's go back here for a second. High resolution Canadian model showing lots of rain there. Some of it breaking into Alberta. We've had a severe thunderstorm warning in that more or less area. Looking at strong thunderstorms in the Revelstoke region tonight. Strong thunderstorms popping off in the Calgary area. Moving on down, there you go. You can see some of those thunderstorms really kicking off late in the afternoon. Those could be late storms that produce tornadoes too. It could be even into the night a little bit. So I'm concerned about that. It's sort of during maximum daylight hours on a Sunday afternoon. People are very much aware, I think. But as you go into that work week mode, people go to bed at Sunday nights and don't pay attention. You can see some of that rain making its way on south on Monday. That rain, you can see where it will start popping off in thunderstorms here in some of those darker colors. Boom, there you go, around Cranbrook and whatnot. That's what we're looking at the next 24 hours. Widespread rain across the prairies. They need more. There'll be some thunderstorms again on Monday for them. Let's go back one more time here, and we're going to go back to ECMWF model, and we're going to play it out one more time. One more time for everybody. Strong thunderstorms in southern British Columbia today. Rain mostly in the Caribou through much of the day. 33 degrees in Trail, 35 in Kelowna. Right now we're talking temperatures. Yeah, 32s, 34s out there. I see a 30 in Cranbrook, 32 in Kamloops. much cooler out by Sliding Mountain here. 10 degrees. Yeah, we're having a great time with this very, very, very lovely weather we've been having in the mountains here. Yeah, 10 degrees. At least I got 15 here. That's not so bad. Again, you're watching that storm motion moving to the south there, southeast more or less, southeast, something like that. You can see how at 1900 hours, so we're talking 7 p.m. Now we're talking 8 o'clock. Getting late, and there's late in the afternoon. We're still seeing that strong thunderstorm threat. So I'd like to believe that will wrap up. I'd like to hope that it wraps up a little early, and that the model isn't incorrect, and that it goes a little bit more into the night. So we want to see those thunderstorms pop, preferably at 7 o'clock or something like that, and be done for the night. So that's kind of my hope. That's just my variable I'm talking about. Now we see rain, heavy rain moving on down as this larger low pressure system here is formed out in Montana. That's drawing rain on down. We're on the northwest side here. Of course, the motion of a low pressure system is to go counterclockwise. That's helping bring cold, shitty air from the north down to us, and why it has sucked so much to be in Wells. Monday afternoon, boom, there's your strong thunderstorms, especially in that bottom corner. Look at this. Some of these guys here, like if this was to be accurate, you would say south of Coleman, Alberta there, you're probably going to see very strong thunderstorm activity, but it's not out of the question that these guys here in Wassa, Cranbrook, whatnot, maybe even these guys in Caslow, take on severe characteristics. So that's what we're concerned about for Monday, and we'll watch all that rain play on out. Lots of rain as that line of thunderstorm goes on through. Maybe just some lingering rain in behind, maybe a few flashers late in the day there in the Caribou as well, but we're not the story really. It's most of southern British Columbia. If you go like 100 Mile House and down, you're coming to it. Look at that large low pressure system. What it's doing, it's making crazy thunderstorms into Tuesday night all across that border region. But there they go off. And like I say, we'll talk about Wednesday, I think, next forecast video I make, and keep you updated here in the channel if we see any sort of weird weather thing going on. Hit like, share, subscribe, everybody. We'll come back to you with more when we got more to talk about. Oh, wait a second. We do. Last look at radar right now. See some weak cells out there north of Revelstoke up the Columbias. Go have a peek up into the Caribou here. Heavier looking storms and bands out there now. Things are getting a little tighter. We've seen over the last bunch of hours, it was like a large sort of mesoscale size rainy system here. Now we're seeing more and more breaking down, more and more chance the sun's going to come out. That might help pop a couple thunderstorms up here in the afternoon, that afternoon heating. We do have a severe thunderstorm that was located out there near Edson somewhere. Looks like it's out of the warning zone, so it's no longer severe thunderstorm warned. But in Alberta, a couple things popping up on the mountain. Still pretty quiet so far today. We go down to where our tornado watch is. Pretty quiet there so far today. So it'll be a while before anything happens there, my friends. Okay, that is the show. We'll see you around, folks. Bye now.